Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. Okay, how are you guys doing? Sorry for missing last week. I was at CPAC in Tokyo and I didn't post any pictures from the event though because I was backstage for the 2 whole days and I didn't actually see the stage in the hall at all. And I was the entire time I was backstage, and yeah, but it was great. I got to meet Katie McFarland. It's the second time because I had seen her in South Korea in 2019 when they had a CPAC Korea, and she remembered that event. I don't think she remembered me, but it was cool enough. She's such a charming, intelligent, like a kind, amazing person. You know, really good-hearted, very like sophisticated. You know, like elegant. And I wish I knew more of adjective to describe, but Katie, such a beautiful lady, but she's like backstage, she's so soft and charming, kind, soft, and so on. On stage, she's like on fire and like strong. Really, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, our conservative figures, you know, who were on stage with her were, I bet that they didn't know how to handle her. Because they were talking about, for example, like nuclear weapons and how to arm Japan again and blah blah blah. So yeah. Anyway, it was wonderful to see JCU people there and too, and also some party, I mean parliament members, like even the co-leader of Ishin. We have two ruling parties, right? LDP and Ishin. In English, it will be Japan Innovation Party, and the co-leader, because the leader is the he's a governor of Osaka. So like as for the parliament, there's this guy Fujita, and he came and we got to meet him and talk to him, and then there were a few more, you know, even like the finance ministry. I mean Minister Satsuki Katayama was there. She's capable of English, so she was talking to Katie McFarland in person, like directly without translators. So that was amazing to see, like backstage. Yeah, stuff like that. And I met some speakers, and also had a reunion of like American, like a Republican type of people based in Tokyo. So it was great, but I was busy. And also, I was actually not feeling good. I'm like, the entire time, I'm like, my stomach. Adult Yoko did a good job. I pretending like nothing is happening. I'm okay. I'm enjoying the moment, you know. Oh, great event. Inside, I'm like, my stomach, you know. Anyway, good to see you all. My Hero Academia has ended. What do you mean? Oh, is it like a title? Where was this? In Tokyo. Well, you got to be backstage looking forward to youth on CPAC Japan. Thank you. Yeah, because I don't have much influence today, you know, and that's like what we work on too. Like it doesn't really stand out among this like conservative among the conservative circles in Japan, because what my husband and I are focusing on as for our projects are basically, you know, the battles against China and Russia. So it's not trendy right now. It is trendy as for the news, which I want to get into later or soon. But yeah, with China, Takaichi's fighting, you know, it's all over the news every single day because China just does not behave. So yeah, it's on the mainstream media. But my husband and I, what we are working on are different from that sort of thing. So Yeah, it's I guess it's hard for them to get us on stage and so on. Yeah. But thanks to Russia, though, recently, as I told you before, me and my husband, both of us are listed as the on their ban list that we can't enter Russia. We are permanently banned from entering Russia officially. So because of that, it's the list that like academic type of people or famous reporters and so on get on. So like we are basically on the same level now, thanks to Russia. So we are just trying to be more influential. Hopefully next year I get to post more post videos on my Japanese channel so that I will have influence in my own country. That is something that I need to do. I'm just realizing that I was spoiling myself for not working on that because I took it for granted, and now more influential people are there and they're stating their own opinions that are a little too free-minded. So I need to come back and hey, you gotta think like this and that. Anyway. Kohei Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia. Thank you, Yoko, in Japan, for giving us anime here in the United States. Yay! Thank you. I was reading the newspaper, and it just reminded me that how America, America is still powerful, number one biggest country in the world, but at the same time there are some declines in some industries, right? Like shipbuilding industry and so on. And also the mainstream media even points out that not all countries, including the United States, cannot live alone, basically, that we need to cooperate together to form the system together to contribute to each of our national interest. And I realized Japan and America, especially on soft power, soft power shouldn't be underestimated, right? It's our anime, your movies and the TV shows, and your technology especially. It's when it's combined, it starts to have this amazing power, which is very influential and also which comes with money. So anyway, guess no vacation to Vladivostok. Yeah, I guess not. I mean, Russia will collapse and then we will visit. We gotta make Russia small again. So Russia was never even safe to visit. I agree. And as for the negotiation of peace agreement, what do you call it? Peace. Yeah, that you guys are talking about how to settle down the war in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. I hope that Trump senpai is learning that Russia will not listen. Putin will not listen. He literally said that Ukraine is Russia. He doesn't think of Ukraine as a country, and he just wants to take whatever he wants. So, and that's what Russian people want. So. Did Trump speak via video again, as he usually does every CPAC? I don't think I saw his video this time. Yeah, each time I think I saw his video. I don't think I did this time, but I could be wrong. Because I was distracted backstage talking to many, many people. Yeah. But because it's important, because the big figures, public figures, like politicians and the famous, it's not critic, what do you guys call it? Just those who, commentators and so on, come in, and you gotta make sure that they are treated nicely, as famous people. sensei, and I gotta go up to them like, oh, thank you for coming. Do it in Japanese way, because you need stuff like that. When you combine Japanese, Sony Animation, American Netflix, and Korean soft power, you get K-pop demon hunters. Yeah. Did any Sunset people go to CPAC? I don't think we saw that. Like until last time, there were Sanseito people, but this time I don't think I saw any. Yeah, like there were people, who support Sanseito, but not the Sanseito people, like Kamiya and their members. No, so that was like, I mean, in politics, you have the shift in formation, you know. Yeah. Speaking of Sanseito, their support rate is dropping. And Kamiya is like, oh, I will welcome this movement. Like, oh, because Takaichi is doing her job, and when it's needed, our number will go up, like rise again. And I'm like, that's not what a leader says, like when the number drops, your party's support rate, if it drops, then you gotta take the responsibility and think, like, figure out why, and you gotta boost it again by yourself. And he's like, oh, I will welcome this. Like, huh? Anyway, I heard about the shooting in Brown University. I am so sorry. Like, there are two victims, like two people who lost their lives to it. I checked out some like police or whoever was in charge, like speaking, like a basically press conference, not conference, but to the press. They were talking. I saw that on Fox News, and I heard that there were like 2 people dead and 9 people in total with injuries, and the people are still like hiding, and they need to change the location and so on. I am so sorry to hear that. I can't. It's so odd though. Like, why do you have to shoot in a university? Like, I don't know. Like, the police doesn't know the details, so like I can't really comment anything about it. But I just want to say though that there will be always somebody, like whenever there's a shooting, people will say like, guns, man, guns. People will talk about guns. But I just want to let you know, like in Japanese universities, sometimes there was a case that this girl, I think she was Korean, she hammered, was it hammer? Something, I didn't post on X. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there was a case that a girl attacked her friends with, I think, a hammer. Yeah, hammer. Yeah, in Hosei University, 8 people she attacked with a hammer, and yeah, didn't die, but they were injured. But anyway, I hope that people will, you guys will learn what happened, and that they will catch the suspect ASAP. Yeah. They choose schools and universities. They are no fun zones. They target those places since they know guns are not allowed. Oh, that sort of background. Interesting. Hello. Thanks for coming. Should I get into this? China. This is from Monday. I missed last week, and then it's the next day. December 8th, right? Oh, it's actually the Pearl Harbor Day. I'm thankful for the friendship that we have today. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, China, lockdown radar on Japanese self-defense forces. It's hard to see the map, I guess, but basically Okinawa is here. It's mirrored, so sorry for that. But, and then Japanese Self-Defense Force here, and China from China. It's mirrored, so it's complicating. From China, they came like this and here, and then locked radar on the Japanese side. They did that twice. The first time was I think it was a few minutes. Wait, yeah, 3 minutes. And the second time was about 30 minutes. Yeah. And it's not supposed to be like that, you know, you should never do that. It's basically like, oh, we are ready to shoot you, you know. So that's really, really terrible. They're agitating, you know. And that China is saying, oh, Japanese side is the bad guy. Never, ever. Japan never does that. You know. And then this is from yesterday. Several, from Monday and then Saturday. China, Russia bombers. You know, yeah. And then they came to, they flew to the Tokyo direction. Unusual route. Are they threatening? Of course they are. But anyway, so they had a China and Russia. They often, you know, like in the sea as well. But also this time, this is in the air. They flew together, you know, had a joint flight. And then they flew from Okinawa, around Okinawa, and then went to the Pacific, and then went to the, up north to Tokyo direction. So it's, and also they had let me translate that. Actually, I did earlier. Yeah. Okay, so it has been revealed that when Chinese and Russian military bombers conducted a joint flight on the 9th, passing between Okinawa Island and Miyako Island, and proceeding into the Pacific Ocean, they took an unusual route, turning toward the Tokyo area after entering the Pacific. The Chinese aircraft involved was a modified strategic bomber capable of carrying nuclear cruise missiles. The flight may have been intended as a show of force in coordination with Russia, and the Japanese government has heightened its vigilance. So, this is what we go through on a daily basis. They are coming around our, into our territories or spaces around our territories. And today I saw, before I came here, I saw the news that, did I bookmark it? Yeah, I did. Yoko does a good job. Sankei News. I will translate this. Chinese ships confirmed near Senkaku Islands for 30 consecutive days, both vessels equipped with machine cannons. On the 14th, the Japan Coast Guard patrol vessels confirmed 2 ships of the China Coast Guard. It's not really Coast Guard, but they say that it is. But China Coast Guard navigating in the contiguous zone outside the territorial waters around the Senkaku Islands, Ishigaki City, Okinawa Prefecture. This marks the 30th consecutive day that ships from Chinese authorities have been confirmed near the Senkaku Islands. So China said, you know, CCP has been saying Japan is this and that, and they just had a ceremony on the 13th, meaning yesterday, about Nanking massacre and so on, and basically, you know, they're trying to spread the narrative that Japan is evil and militaristic Japan is bad and so on, but we're only defending, and China, even with the cooperation from Russia, they are, you know, coming into our territories or coming into waters or airspace around our territories, and they are the ones that they're the one that is militaristic, and they have no problem, projecting themselves to, like, basically flip the picture to bash Japan. And that's what we go through every day. And they are, they do it all the time. And they are so, like, what's the word? Like, tenacious, if you put it in a good way, right? And they do that because they know that mentally, if you keep repeating the same thing, then we will get used to it. They think, CCP believes that Japan should be used to the situation that China is around all the time, so that one day, like, it will be China and we will be used to it. That's their strategy. So it is happening. Like, all the verbal things stand out in the news by CCP because it's crazy. But in my opinion, it's blinding us all that with their verbal attack, you forget about, or your attention doesn't go to all these militaristic things that they are doing every day, like literally every day. It's awful. Anyway, yeah. So, but at the same time, Prime Minister Takaichi is, of course, supported by the majority. At the same time, for example, there is this really good, like a really high level former ambassador to China. He's Japanese, but he was an ambassador to China, and he was great. But he has a kind of critical view to Takaichi, because he believes that she should have more strategy. That Takaichi decided, like, she could have, for example, go to Yasukuni Shrine, where our heroes are there, So she could have go there to, greet to the spirits and so on, but she didn't do that. So politically speaking, that would put her in a moderate conservative instead of, like, really hardcore conservative, if you know what I mean. It's kind of moderate because she probably considered the relationship with China, not to make them angry, So then she should have stayed in that zone, like, politically. But then in the parliament, she stated the facts. To us, it's not wrong, but diplomatically, it's often used against us. So there are some people, like the former ambassador, that, like, maybe she shouldn't have put it in the way that she did in the parliament and so on, or rather just go straight to, being a hardcore conservative or something like that. So, like, basically, the former ambassador was talking about the strategy that she is missing, because he doesn't see, when you see all the choices that she's been taking, politically and diplomatically, then you don't see the coherency and so on. So, it's but still, though, of course, her support rate is really, really high compared to other leaders. So it's amazing. Okay. Good morning from Finland, Yoko. Hello. How does Japan consider Russia and Chinese relation in East Asia? Friends, rivals? Russia is our enemy. So is China. That's been clear. That's just our historically, that's been the state, if you know what I mean. Historically, like, with Chinese communists, no, we don't bond with them. Economically, we took the advantage of each other, but that's it. And then culturally and also historically, we are not together. We can't be together. And Russia with Soviet Union, during the World War II, we fought against each other, and they came to get our islands. They still have we had a neutrality pact. With Soviet Union and Japan, we had a neutrality pact. They discarded it unilaterally, and then they came to attack us. They took our islands while slaughtering our people and raping our women, and they are still after that. Of course, our soldiers, 600,000 soldiers were sent to Siberia as their slaves and so on, and many bad things happened. And after that, there's no peace treaty, there's none with Russia. It hasn't ended for Japan. And then now it's Russia, right? Soviet Union collapsed, it's Russia. Russian government has been the same. They are basically having the legacy of Soviet Union, and they are still illegally occupying. They have been illegally occupying our northern territories. So yeah, and then Abe tried to take them back by being closer to Putin, and also have economic partnership and so on. But it didn't work out. Putin just want to expand his territories. Of course, he's not going to lose any territories because his people will not support that. Even I don't think he would like that. So that's the premise. We can't. And plus, Russia, it's not only China. As you can see, China and Russia bombers. They're touring around Japan to threaten us, and also they don't care. They just want to take our lands and so on. We are surrounded by such bad neighbors, and Russia in particular. There's this information that let's say, so Russia takes Ukrainian people. Was it children, Ukrainian people, and then Russia send the Ukrainian people they capture, and they send them to North Korea and educate them to be anti-Japan. Anti-Japan education is occurring right now. So of course, those bad countries are forming the really vicious alliance against Japan. So really terrible. Hello from Oceanside, California. Oh, sounds good. It's so chilly here. It's sometimes it's really cold, and so I'm kind of jealous of those who can enjoy the Pacific Ocean. So warm. Yoko, why is China being a mini butt? Because that's the only thing they know. Seriously, the Eurasia, China and Russia, I think that those land powers just don't know, The history has continued in that continent. For us or America, you guys have been to many wars, unfortunately, many wars, and so you kind of end each period, there's this term that was allotted to the war, and this another war, different time, the generations have been changing, and all the things, all the world that you see, it changes, right? But in Eurasia, Russia, China, they censor the information, and they've been fighting the thing that we don't even know of. They have this unique narrative that only fits domestically, but they have that. So they are living in we are living on the same planet, but they are living in this different world. So in my opinion, that's the perspective that I have. So they just don't get it. Yeah. Hi Yoko, good to see you. Good to see you too. Thanks for coming. That white sweater looks amazing on you. Thank you. I wish I had more sweaters. This I've been wearing this for years. I bet that some of you are kind of, like, oh, I've seen that before type of thing. Anyway, Rick Grenell. It looks like he attended CPAC. Oh, do they have a break? Do they have breakout speakers, and how does the food work? Do they have lunch and dinner provided? Maybe he attended through video? I don't know. Carrie Lake, by the way, she sent us a video, so I saw her beautiful face on the screen. Yep. I heard Russia really wanted Hokkaido too, but MacArthur made sure they didn't get it. I mean, I don't know. All the expansionists just want everything. Yeah. As for China, when you look at the world map, I don't know how familiar you are with Japanese map, but if you center the map on China, and then let's say you wanna expand, they're taking like Tibet and East Turkestan and so on. On the other side, they wanna go out to the Pacific Ocean. From China's point of view, both Taiwan and Japan are in their way, right? We're like, Japan is like, let's say China is here, right? Japan is like, it's like, our islands are like this, so they're like, they can't go out. We are like, no, you don't get to go to America, we're spreading our islands to protect you. In this modern age, that's the picture, we're the fortress. Yeah. Yoko, you're back. Cool. Thank you. By the way, any super chat? I missed last week. Any super chat? That'll be helpful. Good morning, Yoko. Good morning. Let's see. What should I talk about? Question: does Japan officially recognize Taiwan as a country? No. The United States doesn't, but I wish we would. What would be the worst that would happen? They stop buying our soybeans. 日本は国として認めてないですよね。台湾ね。質問があってから改めて聞かれる。なかなかそれについて語った方がいいかなと。広げようがないよな。Okay. Yeah, we don't really have like a strategy, like America, in the way of, like, you even titled that strategy like a strategic ambiguity, right? But Japan just we're just, I don't know how to say it. We're like that, basically. But Taiwan, though, like, I personally think that Taiwan should get independent. The tricky part of Asian politics, though, is that when you say, like, oh, for example, like, let's make Taiwan independent, when that happens, some people don't agree to the map that we picture, right? Like, when we think of Taiwan, you think about the island, right? And a little bit around there and so on. But other people will think of Taiwan as, like, including Chinese land, like so-called mainland, right? And so on, and it's kind of tricky. So yeah, so I don't get to, it's something that you gotta ask Taiwanese people. But yeah, but generally speaking, like, of course, like, we support Taiwan, and we know that how much China is bullying them and that they want to conquer them. and even their passport and so on, or even like a sports event too. Like China wants to say that Taiwan is China, and we hate that. So yeah, and we think of Taiwan as like brothers and sisters, because like historically too, but also just Taiwanese people have been so nice to Japanese people. Taiwan and America, like such an amazing countries, in my opinion. But oh, thank you so much for super chat. You could go see the Brendan Fraser movie Rental Family when it comes to Japan in February. Oh, it's a very cute, heartwarming movie. It takes place in Tokyo. What? That's interesting. Rental Family. So it will come in February. Rental Family. Oh, this Rental Family. It's a comedy. Cool. Wait, is this? Who's the main guy? Brendan Fraser. Do I know him from something? Oh, Hamunaputora. That's why. I'm like, he looks familiar, you know. Hamunaputra. Cool. I'm interested. Oh, Aiko. And Shinji. I see Japanese names. Mia Kawasaki. Kikuo Hasegawa. Interesting. Yeah, I'm now curious. I want to see that. Thank you for recommending me that. No kidding about China. It stuns me that they are building man-made military islands near the Philippines. Yeah, didn't they like burn some Philippines ship or something recently? China, Philippines. Like something happened, right? This should, let's see. See, like Philippines has accused Chinese Coast Guard ships of firing water cannon at Filipino fishermen near a disputed South China Sea shore, injuring 3 people and causing significant damage to 2 fishing vessels. They're so violent. This just came in 14th today, 2 hours ago. Al Jazeera. Yeah, they've been doing that in the like around Philippines. They're everywhere causing troubles. Oh, thank you so much for super chat. I think I missed the week before last. Oh, I hope everything has been going well with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, last week I was at CPAC, so I didn't have a live stream, but before last, true. Yeah, it's nice to see you. Thanks for supporting me. Yeah, treating everyone like PRC tourists kicking the shika in Nara. That's a good example. Seriously, that's the mentality that they have. They don't care about all the other things aside from themselves. Yeah. Kari Lake is pure MAGA. Arizona messed up a big time not electing her. Yeah. Yup, 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 yup. Any questions? Oh, by the way, in Japan, we have like kanji of the year. Kanji is the complicated, like this type of writing, you know? And the kanji of the year, usually, like we pick one, and it's according to what it says here, like, of course, some like a organization is doing it probably, but it says that they had, like, what do you call it? Like, people sent their ideas, like, oh, this year it should be like bear, or it should be rice, or it should be high, and so on, like the characters. And then this year it says bear. It's bear. Like it doesn't look like the kanji bear, because it should look like this. You see that this one, this, he did it way too much, way too far. It doesn't look like this. So when he was writing, we were like, huh? Like, which kanji is that? But it's bear. The second was only like 180 votes difference, and it could have been rice, and rice representing the price of rice, and also Trump, basically meaning Trump. America is written in our in our language, with kanji. This means America, but it's rice. I made a short video talking about rice country, America, but rice, Japan, America. So, yeah. So this year, though, it's bear, because bears have killed many people this year. And also, this is so bad, but in Chinese, it's also like basically big bear cat. If you write it like that, in Chinese, it means giant panda. And our panda, the pandas we rented from China returned to China. So, but I'm like, so wrong. It's so wrong, because pandas belong to Tibet, So, yeah. Oh, by the way, this joint flight, China and Russia, around Japan. So in order to counter that, Japan and America we are training together to counter that. So thank you, America. You're the best. America, seriously. You have no idea. You might be just living each day like an ordinary day, but your country really is, defending Japan. Just by your presence, just by your alliance. And on the top of that, all the soldiers here based in Japan, they train with us and so on. And you guys are protecting Japan. So thank you. Thank you so much. In Japanese, American defense ministers, they confirmed like a cooperation, like what's the word? Coordination again. And they had a phone conference and concerned about China, deep concern about China together. In the meantime, this is our vessels. This is our ship Akizuki, and I see how it. And then George Washington. Do you see? This is a Japanese one. Yeah, this is a Japanese one, Akizuki. And then this is George Washington. We are together. Cool. So cool. Yes. Also, not only America, but Australia has been there for us. And I saw our defense minister, Koizumi, and their partner jogging together. It was interesting. I briefly saw that. I didn't really look into that, but I saw them jogging together, and I believe it was an Australian defense minister. So that was interesting. Yeah. it's being more like a bull market instead of a bear market this year. Ooh. Yeah, we need more hunters in Japan, by the way. So maybe Americans might like it. But seriously, like I've seen on the news that some state, I forgot which state, but one state that I saw on the news has like a troop for bears, like to hunt bears, and they have the knowledge and know-how, yeah, and so on. So, and then our people were saying on the news that we don't have stuff like that, so we should have that. You know, right now we do have like licensed hunters who can hunt bears, but they are like elderly people. So, and then young people are not as much trained, you know, and it takes time to learn, you know. And then at the same time, the elderly people are dying out. The number of the hunters are declining. So, yeah, I'd imagine it's Alaska. Could be, I don't know. I don't think it was Alaska. It was more, maybe like more central, I don't know. When the US sends carriers out, that is a huge statement because they are an incredible projection of power. That's very, very true. Yes, yes, yes. There's a bear problem now in Japan. Yeah, because it's two things, you know, two reasons. Because one, their bears have fight in the mountains, right? Strong bears live in the mountains, and those who are weaker, I mean, those who are weak against them, they have to come down, you know. And if there are, the second thing is, I mean, not second thing, this is the one thing. And then they come down a little bit, and then if there are enough food for them, then they will stay there, right? But depending on the environment each year, in some years there are some trees that have, or the, I don't know how to say that in English, like, you know, you get a food, but in other years it's different trees, and some other years they get nothing. So they come down to the human villages, right? And at the same time, the second thing is the humans go into the mountains more than they should. In some places, even they got rid of the boundaries. Basically, they want to live with the nature. Stupid idea, but they are like, oh, nature, you know. They come in, and the bears are like, I'm hungry, and they meet, you know. And seriously, the old ladies and so on, or even grandpa type, or the elderly people, try to go get mushrooms and so on in the woods. It's usually why would you die for mushrooms, you know? But it's the life that they've had, you know. And it's like recent years, I don't think you guys believe in climate change, but you know, I don't know what it is, but it's different, you know, each year. And at the same time, there was the year that bear was coming down, and then the, is it called cubs? Like no, it's only for lions or something. I don't know. The babies, you know, or toddlers of the bears who came down to the human villages when they were babies with their mom. They had the good foods that humans are eating, right? Or crop, like our crops and so on. They have had a taste. Now they know there is a delicious food down there. So they go back to the mountain, and then those babies become the parents, right? And the mom, those babies that became moms, they come down again because they know, oh, no, kids, here humans have developed all these foods. So they come down, and on the top of that, they have learned attacking humans. So it's like they learn so well. So it's really in a bad, like really vicious cycle. Bear cubs. Cubs. Oh, thank you for super chat. What is this? I heard about China rebuilding an old Japanese World War II runway near Guam. What is that? Old Japanese World War II runway near Guam? I honestly don't know what it is. Can I look it up briefly? Like they make stuff up always. Guam. I'm gonna put like China and Guam. I don't know. Not on Google. Guam. I don't know. I don't see. What I know though is that China wants to, you know, push the U.S. bases out of Japan and Guam and so on, and Hawaii. They want to go up to Hawaii and conquer. So I don't know. It just sounds like they're projecting again, though. Or you mean like China doing that? Or maybe I just misread that. Rebuilding an old Japanese World War II runway. But yeah, China. China is always trying to create bases and then spread and expand. And they eventually want to take the Pacific Ocean. They have been repeating that since like what 2008 or so. Their executive, like military executives, and also both Xi too. Xi Jinping is like the Pacific Ocean is vast enough for two countries to control. He said that. He said that like a couple of times. Well, like as a ordinary like Japanese citizen, I just know the basic idea of CCP. You know, how they want to expand and what their ultimate goal is. So, as a Japanese person living in Japan, I just think about how to stop them now. You know, now they're still in China. And Russia, though, is occupying our territories, but still China is contained. And then they want to take Taiwan. And if we allow that, it will be the beginning of the really bad scenario. So we need to focus a lot. So for that, of course, I want the international politics or like a politics, global politics to settle, but it's gonna, unfortunately, I see that it's taking time. And at the same time, like Trump wants to end all the conflicts and so on. I can see the efforts. And at the same time, though, I see the news in the States that like there are people bringing up Epstein files and so on, and how MAGA people are divided. Do you feel that you guys are getting divided by like Marjorie Taylor Greene and so on? Is that a real division, or are the people around like against Trump making it up? Like, is it a thing? Is it really happening, the division? It's kind of hard to get that because from Japan, like I check the X feed and so on, but it's hard to grasp. They are trying hard to divide the right. Ah, I see. Domesticate bears. That would be awesome. I mean, we love bears, you know, like to look at it, look at them from a distance. Always know though that it's China and Russia are desperately trying to bring chaos to America. It's my hunch is that those people, you know, if there are accounts, especially on X and so on social media, if there are accounts, you know, saying like, oh, this is justice, like Americans love justice. Oh, justice, you know, and then they talk you know, criticize Trump and so on. It could be that really like so-called useful idiots, either useful idiots just being idiotic, or at the same time it could be that, you know, as a basically useful idiots used by Russia, because Russia does that like worldwide. Like you don't want to, many of you probably don't want to believe it, but they're doing it, like the data shows. So, and at the same time the Russian accounts darkly are doing it too. They want to weaken America, so they always do stuff like that. It is happening in Japan too. It's interesting though, because in Japan we can just tell because of language barrier and so on. Where was that? I saw that in Germany there was that they mentioned that. Where was that? The cyberspace is something that is hard to understand though. We are in Japan, we are getting cyber attacks by Russia. I don't know if it's like government backed, but Russian people are cyber attacking our businesses like Asahi and so on. Where did I see that? Mega solar, large scale solar, abolishing the support. Wait, I'm looking for the Germany. Oh yeah, here. I looked through the, you know, newspaper for you, so I remember. Sorry. Oh, by the way, irrelevant but good advertisement. Japanese seafood. Yay! Too bad Chinese people cannot have these. Yeah. Is it made in Japan though? I think so. I don't know. Isn't it interesting? Seafood. Because our New Year, you know, like Japanese people celebrate New Year's days massively. So Germany, general election, Russia's false information. And then, so basically in Germany, they summoned the ambassador from Russia, like Russia ambassador in Germany. Germany summoned the ambassador and protested. So, yeah. I don't like it when Democrats are like, oh, Russia, you know. Like, if you say stuff like that, not based on facts, then that is bad. It just, like, it loses the meaning, you know. Like, it rather makes things worse for everybody. But there are cases happening, especially in Europe and Japan. It's so similar. I mean, it's the same thing. And what's interesting is that the picture becomes the same. That I've spoken to this man in Europe. I'm not gonna say which country, but former politician, and he was saying the same thing, that in his country, among G7, by the way, in his country, the right the right side is divided and the extreme right wing are pro-Russia. And it's same for Japan. It's a recent thing too. It didn't happen before. But recently in Japan too, like extreme right-wing type of people say that they like Russia, they are pro-Russia, and they do not criticize Russia. The Sanseitou Party, for example, they never criticize Russia. It is bizarre, right? Like if you look at the history, as I mentioned earlier, the Japan, how Japan and Russia's history is. Given that, like, if you are on the right side and if you are Japanese first, then you would demand your territory against Russia, right? Like it's our territory. It's like go away, Russia. You know that is that would have been the opinion of the right side, but it's not the case, and they're really like influenced by them. Anyway, I'm late. No. Thanks for coming though. You made it in time. I've been speaking for an hour, but I need more super chat. Seriously, man. Now though, it's the yen is weak, so your super chat becomes a little bit more than it used to be. So your money will be really well received here in Japan, just so you know. Let's see. What was I? Used to be an Majoritera Green fan, but I feel like she went off the rails, soft on illegals when it comes to her construction business. Oh, interesting. Also, my enthusiasm for Trump has gone down a bit due to not banning H-1Bs. Yeah, I can see like opinions becoming like a what's the word, like opinions vary when it comes to visas and so on. We are also getting cyber attacks. I hear that. Yeah, isn't it like, you know, if Russia is as good as they make it seem, then I don't think that there will be hackers trying to rip off from other countries, you know. They're desperate to get money and also to attack their opponents so that they can take advantage of it. It means that it shows the desperation, you know, like here and there worldwide, they're doing it so hard because you don't see other countries doing it. There are probably invisible battles happening constantly, but it's not like the ones that Russia and North Korea do. North Korea too, they do cyber attacks, you know, because they need money, so they steal like crypto money. Let me read. Division of MAGA movement. General election was the start of the year. Our government sucks. Are they slow? I heard Japanese citizens are happy Chinese tourists aren't coming to Japan now. Correct. It's more peaceful now. The problem of Chinese tourists is that their culture is just so different, you know, and culturally they're loud, right? And then they come in crowds, like Westerners usually when they tour have like come as a tourist here. It's a small group usually, but Chinese people are like. So many of them at the same time. I'm like, hello. And then they don't want to, you know, they don't care about making the place dirty and so on too. But Japanese side, though, like we've been saying, that we need to increase the gomibako, trash cans in public. We reduced that because we we were alert, like we wanted to reduce the risks of terrorism. So let's see. Sunseto talked about Russia only once. In Germany, AfD is divided about this, but also Germans are also a huge voting bloc here. Oh, that's interesting. I had never thought about it. Come to think of it. That's so interesting. You're directly influenced by their force. Huh. Yeah. That's interesting because like I live in sea power, right? Japan is surrounded by the oceans, so we don't really think about the borders and how people come in, like walking and so on. That's interesting. That's due to the war, or I should look into the history. How annoying are American tourists in comparison to other tourists? Americans actually do not stand out. Like sometimes I hear American accent, but they're just there, you know. I guess it's because our cultures are similar, you know. I mean, American people can be loud and like like your voice is bigger, you know. Japanese, it's not really because Americans are loud. I mean, my American friend was saying Americans are loud, but I rather feel that Japanese people are quiet. So that's why sometimes it does stand out. But yeah, I just don't hear Americans much. Yeah. But you know, you see all these crazy tourists on social media in Japan, you know. They have footage of like all this noisy tourists in Japan and so on. But if you go to Tokyo, for example, maybe because I don't go to tourist places, but still, like I go to the airport, like I land in airport and then go to the center of Tokyo, right? And on the train ride, I do see a lot of tourists, but they're just there, like normal people. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell the like how things are. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I just finished making some myoga amazuka. Amazuzuke. Oh, umaso. When I saw you were on, by the way, that sounds so tasty. Umaso. Pro-Russian in Japan. It's a funny time in international politics, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yen 150. Yeah, probably around there. Yeah. It's interesting. Like you know, I'm such a Japanese that I think about death like every day. I think it's traditionally, like culturally, it's a Japanese thing that we think about death. Like when we die, we want to die beautifully. Right? And I think about death. And then also like if you know the time limit of your life, you think about how to live and so on. Wait, why did I bring it up though? Oh yeah, so and then so I think about death, and then I think about after I die, like will YouTube continue their business? You know, will their business last enough long enough for our people, like later generations, actually get to see me live streaming and so on, you know? What if, like, right now you and I are talking, right? And do the people after us get to see this conversation, you know, like entertainment basically, or to learn about what to them like their ancestors were thinking about back in the day, and we become the material, like historical material and so on. And then they will think like, oh man, like people at this time were crazy, you know, like we will be point, they will point finger at us and so on. I'm really hoping that they will not think of us as crazy and so on. We are living, you know, at the best that we can do, right? Let's put in some excuses now so they don't judge us. Yeah. We got millions of people with German ancestry from the Soviet Union. Oh, they are patriotic Germans, but also want close ties to Russia. Germany had the closest connection to RU until Russia, until the war. Oh, interesting. Germany was the second biggest trading partner to Russia, and you could find many German products there. Ooh, so interesting. Germany. Like, I don't. Germany, when I hear Germany, I think about, you know, one of the reasons why the Nanjing massacre is big is because of a German guy who was selling weapons in like a weapon merchant in China. He had a diary full of lies, and it's used as evidence. But that's interesting. I didn't think about Germany and Russia. Huh. Isn't it interesting that, like, if you think about it, it's so natural, right? But you just don't think about it because you don't usually come across talks like that if you're living away from the region and so on. We watch YouTube videos about how to behave before traveling. Good idea. I've seen a lot of those videos about annoying American streamers, so I was wondering, yeah. I mean, there are so many tourists that I wouldn't be surprised if there are stupid people mingled. Because even Japanese people, among Japanese people too, there are like stupid people too. It's just a matter of percentage. You're not supposed to talk in Japanese trains. Exactly. It is correct. Yeah. It's like when you want to talk on the train, you kind of you have to go to like, oh, by the way, you know, like this voice, like you gotta whisper on train. But drunk people don't care though. They are so loud, and you know what we do when we hear like really loud voice on trains? We go like like death stare. It's like telepathy. Huh. We don't actually say it, you know. Sometimes we do after sending signals though. Non-verbally, we're like so loud. You know, and we sigh like it's so silly, like because I'm kind of Americanized as well, so like I have my Americanized version of me as well, in co-living in this Yoko self, right? And so part of me is like, why are we doing this? Like, we'll just say it, you know, just say it because it's easier. But yeah, we don't want to cause troubles, so we try to send our signals. Speaking of that, have you seen Junk? Junk? No, I don't think so. Speaking of death, and I've seen 21 Gram. There was a movie titled 21 Gram, I think. I don't remember though that, but I just remember that number 21 gram. Like when we leave, it becomes lighter, right? That's the only thing I remember. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Just wondering, are you allowed to swear on your stream, or do you try to keep it PG rated? I was going to quote Trump when he refers to bad countries. Oh, me in personally, I just don't swear. I'm a good person. When I was younger, though, when I was first learning English, of course, like the people, like I was a kid, so I was talking to other kids in the world, right, in English, in my broken English, and they use F word and so on. So I was copying them to sound natural, like in attempt to sound natural. So I was doing that a lot until I don't know, like 20, when I was 25 or so, I think I kept doing that. And then it's always the British guy. The British guy was like, oh, you should not talk like that, you know? Oh, you should not use that word. Buzzkill. Yeah. Stink eye. Oh, stink eye. Oh, I see the death stare. I see. Stink eye. That's an interesting way to say it. Stink eye. But the stinky is like stinky, right? Oh, just like the eyes that look like you're looking at the stinky things. That's so interesting. American, or it doesn't have to be American. I guess English is interesting. Give someone a stink eye. Thanks for the vocab. Now I learned a new thing. Do you have toilets in trains? Yes. If yes, do you need to put on different toilet shoes? No, you just go in with your own shoes. In public areas, you know, even hotels and so on, it's the same. But if you go inside someone's homes or even hotel rooms, like when I go into hotel rooms, I change my shoes to slippers. But slippers have like indoor slippers and outdoor slippers. So I mean, it kind of depends, but usually it has when you need to take off your shoes in Japan. You usually come to think of it, I think there's like a dansa. I don't know how to say that. The height difference. I don't know. It might not be always the case, but every place has homeless. Japan too. We used to have a lot of homeless in Japan, but I guess we changed the system like socially, and they can like they're probably I don't know, like we got to kick out homeless people. I don't remember how, but it's way less now. You don't really see them. There are sometimes one or two, yeah, but you rarely see them anymore. And plus, in Japan, you have like the social welfare that you can receive. It's kind of annoying. The process seems to be annoying though. But yeah. And yeah, and there are like NGO or NPO supporting like those who are not making enough money, like free food and so on. I bet that Christians do that in America. I see that in TV shows and so on. It's so cool. Yoko is so proper. She never swears in either language. Because you know why? Because when I was a teenager, I just said, I sweared enough for the life of my life. I, uh, I was like every sentence I was swearing when I was a teenager to my parents and my guy friends and so on, to seem like a badass, At least that's what I thought. I did that enough in the past, so like I'm more interested in like sounding more sophisticated and so on. And especially after I got married, my husband is such a knowledgeable person. And when you have enough knowledge and also the verbal skills, you don't need to emphasize with that swearing adjectives because you do know the actual adjectives that can reinforce your sentences. So like if you know more vocabs, there are better ways to say things. But I do love Americans just saying F words at each other. it's so it's so cool. It's a different thing. I think it's a culturally it's just different. And yeah, I was watching this TV show series called Shameless. A lot of nudity at the beginning, so I was kind of unsure if I should keep watching because I was like, am I watching a porn? It was so weird. But it's the remake of the British show, and it's an American version that I was watching. And then I was watching on my phone, and I had it on speaker, and my husband heard it, and he was like, they keep saying F word at each other. Like, I hear that word. Like, what are you watching? It was funny. Yeah. Anyway, I talked on the train sometimes in Japan. I was never yelled at. However, it's still best not to talk. Yeah, sometimes I said embarrassing things that I later realized I'd rather not have strangers here. The thing is, I shared this story before, but was it this year or last year? I was on, no, I think at the beginning of it this year. Like I was on the train, in Tokyo, and then this white group came on the train. Like this woman was definitely from, she was from France, I think, and she was speaking in English in a loud voice, and I could hear everything, everything that she was talking about. She was actually working for the game company that made Yasuke, the controversial Yasuke game, and she was talking about it and how she didn't like the working culture in the company and so on. She was speaking in, I was trying not to hear, but like once you hear that, like you keep like you keep hearing that, right? Like you can't let go of that. So I'm like, oh, please shut up. Oh, but she kept going on, and I can probably write her resume, That's, and I didn't even look up, I kind of checked who she is and so on, but yeah, I was, I remember thinking that, thinking like, should I tell her not to speak with such a loud voice, like we can all hear, and sometimes Japanese people like myself, like we can understand English. So like probably because we are all quiet and we are known as non-speaking English, non like English non-English speaking people, probably foreigners feel free. Oh, we are in a different world. Nobody can understand us, and they speak. And actually, actually, we can understand you. We just don't show it. So yeah, be careful because you never know when there are Yoko, people like Yoko. um, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, yeah. Why wouldn't Japanese Americans not also suffer from homelessness? I think that what's really different between Japan and America is that America is not. It's a like a it's a is it called republic? The you what like a federation? Right? What is that word? That you each state the governor is powerful and your rules are different in each state and that's what's different from Japan. In Japan we are one, right? And we have a so-called emperor. We have Tenno, right? Tenno, and it's like well, one big family, and everybody is pretty much equal. Like we are the same Japanese people. The majority of us are, and we have to follow the same rules, and that's the virtue in our country. Anyway, oh super chat, thank you. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Is it like a quote? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Interesting. I need to know what it means though. I can't really get the context. Oh, here. We live in such a good age, you know. You can just look it up on Google and it will tell you. Back in the day, I had to turn on pages, of dictionary. 心に満ちていることは口は語る。It's Bible? Interesting. あなたは悪者であるのにどうしていいことが言える？Deep. I love that. Yeah. Definitely. Like, yeah, it's interesting that when, I started like, I was a typical teenager who was like an emo, kind of, like I thought I hated myself, and it was a badass thing to say, like, oh, I hate myself, blah, blah, blah. I was in that culture and I was depressed. And at that time, I seriously wasn't happy. And then so people around me were not happy, like-minded people get together, right? And today I am happy, or I decide to be happy, right? So then when people around me, they just become happy because I'm happy. And it's really cool. Like I'm finally like adulting up. So yeah. Oh yes, UBI soft. Yes. And she didn't like the working culture for some reason. Never saw the end of Shameless, maybe to season 4. Yeah, season 4, from the first 3 seasons were good. Later, it became dull, like weird, and more political, and more diverse casting too, and it's kind of lost the good thing that was going. And I really had a crush on that Fiona's boyfriend, Steve or Jimmy. It's always that case with me, like, yeah. What was that? Blacklist? When I was watching Blacklist, I was so sad that this guy died. And then from there, it wasn't fun anymore. And I quit watching. Yeah. But I learned that Fiona in Shameless, what's her name? it didn't even cross my mind. Usually I notice like actress and so on, like I notice, oh, this person was in that show and so on. But Emmy Lawson, right? Emmy, what is the spelling of her name? Rossum. Okay, I wasn't sure. Lawson. Emmy Rossum. I didn't know that she was the, like, come to think of it, it was where she was in the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah. Phantom of the Opera, you see. My parents loved that movie. So like I was still in university when the movie came out, and I remember like getting on either car, either my dad or my mom, like both of them had like they bought a cassette or something or CD of the movie Phantom of the Opera, and they both had the dubbed cassette in their car. So like whichever car I went went in, it's like Phantom of the Opera, sir. Big volume. So I didn't realize that, like in Shameless, the character is so different. So, but it's so interesting to see, though, in that show the different side of America that you don't usually think about when talking about politics and so on. You look at middle class or rich people, you don't really think about, at least me, sorry for that. I've never lived in the US, so my perspectives are not full scale, so it's good to realize that there are people living in that way, because I didn't really think about it. So yeah. Oh, good night. Oh no, you're leaving. Keep progressing and stay safe, Japan. Thank you so much. Sleep well. Thank you. Oh yeah. Man, I've been talking for a long time. If no more super chat, I need to go. My husband, by the way, has to go on a call too. But I still have time though. If there's super chat, I'll stay. It basically means what you believe in or talking abundantly results in what you say or how you speak. Interesting. It's so true though. It's so true. That's cool. My husband has read Bibles. Are there multiple? Sorry for my lack of knowledge. But my husband likes the Bible. He has he says that it's like a stories, like a kind of like fairy tales in a way that like it's a story. It's a good story. So he read through that when he was way younger. Republic Federalist. Yeah. So different from Japan. America started off as a confederation like the European Union, but over time it became a federal republic. I have this book which has the translation all together side by side, but it's the American elementary school history book, and I bought it decades ago. I still haven't read it. I should read that. What was Hide-san highlight at CPAC? Hide-san. CPAC のハイライトは何でしたか？書く。
そんな単純じゃないんです。
My husband's favorite moment was when Katie said, I didn't hear it directly, so it might be the translation of a translation, but Katie McFarland said, "It's not that simple." Katie was so on fire talking about nuclear weapons, and yeah, ちょっと詳細はthe details will be long, so he doesn't want to say. Luke 6:4-5, the Bible. Factual happiness is like a gift to us. Yeah. いやじゃあなんか引用をくれたのさっきスーパーチャットで、でそれはこれから取りましたっていう。なんだっけ、心に満ちていることは口が語るっていうのがルカに載ってるんだって。あ、それあ、書いてあった。ルカによる福音書6章45節I'm just explaining like the quote earlier. ルカ It's so tricky that names that appear on Bibles and so on, it's a Japanese language, and like I mean, like when you look it up in English, then it's the pronunciation is different, you know. But often though, like when we read in Japanese and the like European language and so on, it's usually similar, and yeah. Yeah, my husband was watching on Amazon Prime a while ago. The movie, is it a movie? TV drama. なんて名前? House of Davide. David. Davide. David. Yeah. Yeah. So I sometimes call him Dahide. It might be a little bad for Christian people to make fun, like kind of, you know, joke around, but yeah. David って言ってた. Yeah, they called him David. German and French Bible names also different from English ones. Yeah, right? I just met a Nihonjin named Luca. Yeah, I can see that. Luca. It sounds natural name. The third Bible. How do you know? Do you speak Hebrew and Greek? Me? It just sometimes happen. Like, yeah. Like I've met people, a lot of people from the world, and when European people say their name, it's the same as how we would read, but then in English, like American English, it would be so much different. So it has happened before. Oh, the guy before you. King James Version. I see. Anyway, Super Chat, no more Super Chat. You guys are busy, probably using your money for Christmas and so on. Oh, man, I need to make money. I need to make money. Maybe I should post more on X. It's great that X pays me, you know. It's a little bit though, but it really helps because I need to pay for a lot of things, including like school loans and so on. Oh, by the way, there was there is some racism thing happening in Finland, like this type of Asian thing, like, and then it's controversial in Japan. Some Miss Finland or something got removed from her, like her title was removed due to her racist post on social media. But then Finnish politicians sided with her, and then Japanese people are fighting back like this. Like it's actually like she put like this is the original girl, the Miss Finland or something, and then it's so scary though. By the way, kind of looks like me though. But yeah, oh man, scary, scary, scary. So like she posted a picture of her like this with this, and then put like Chinese restaurant, and so it's not really against Japan, but it's basically like to East Asians this is discriminative. So yeah. See, like even Asahi Shimbun wrote about it. Yeah, it's true. Like when you get sophisticated, you don't really care about stuff like this. But when you need to be aware, though, right? Like what law people are doing. But this time it was not really the law people; it's the politicians in Finland. Anyway, Elena, Irina, Elena. That's so Elena. House of David, but you can call he did like David through David was a murderer in a secret. Scared of Jezebel. Just don't call him Jesus. Oh, I see. This guy I knew, this Mexican I knew, his name was Jesus. Isn't it weird? The Jesus. Jesus. So he was called Jesus sometimes, and I was like, is that okay? Will Yoko dress up as Santa when he gets closer to Christmas? Sexy Santa? When you cosplay at the age of 40 in Japan, people will bash you like crazy. She doesn't know that she's old. Oh man, Japanese people are generally nice, but when it comes to like it's the large part of our culture is that you need to be aware where you stand socially as for your roles in society and your family. So if you hit a certain age, you need to behave like a mom or grandma. And if you act like the same as before, like a teenager, or as if you were still in your 20s and so on, people will criticize you. It doesn't look natural. It's not pleasant to see. And it's just it's not a good, it doesn't give good lessons for the younger generations. Like kids need to learn the roles in society, like how to behave, how to talk, that sort of things. And so adults need to be adults, right, instead of going after individual dreams and creating their own world and stuff like that. We live in the same society. We are forming this society, and each of us has to take a certain role, right, based on our age and sex, gender, and so on. So yeah, But yeah, I just probably saw like we've been having earthquakes recently up north, and every time earthquakes happen, I realize, that we are part like a nature is way bigger than us, even bears too. But nature in general, natural disasters and so on, whenever it happens, of course, our people have built our technology, developed our technology, and even after the massive earthquake recently, nobody died, it's such a, I don't think that in any other country, I don't think that people would be safe, but we are working with the nature basically, like we are living in the nature, co-living. So yeah, so that's great. And at the same time, when natural disasters happen and we need to evacuate together and so on, from with the neighbors and everything in your region, we get together, and then there are volunteers, and you basically form a society there. So we need to be aware of who we are and what kind of role we give and contribute to the society. So you can't be selfish and be like, oh, I still choose to be this teenage girl. Like, it doesn't happen. So that's the background. But as for streams, though, live streams, though, I would love to be a Santa. Yes. But I rather like receiving gifts, though, to be honest. But one day, when I have a bigger audience and have more money, then I guess I could be giver. But yeah. Yeshua. Yehoshua. Actual name? Interesting. Interesting. Hey, hope you're well. China and Japan should be friends, neighbor, peace, no war. I hope one day. Yeah. CCP must just go. And then so that we can enjoy our anime and music and so on together and vice versa. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it interesting that I keep saying like I have Chinese friends and they are just living here like one of us, and of course they have their Chinese identity and everything, but like we have no problem living together and even working together. We do have cultural differences, but some Chinese people, they're like even Japanese people, we are westernized, right? Like Japanese people, we chose the way to change ourselves to fit in the Western culture. And here I am, for example, right? Like, it works. And doesn't mean that we forgot who we are and our identity, culture, tradition, and so on. We still have that, but on a daily basis, we can be like this, right? And same for Chinese people. And there are some Chinese people like that, those who just agree to communicate like this, and we all friends. But those CCP type, it's great that they have all this pride and patriotism and so on. That's something to admire. But the way that they impose that onto people, and the fact that they cannot acknowledge that we are all living on the same earth, yeah, it's giving us a headache. Anyway, oh, super chat, thank you so much. I stepped away from the stream for a minute and came back, and you were talking about mother bears train their kids to make the system, and at first I thought you were talking about immigrants. That's so funny. No, it's the actual bear. Yeah, you gotta taste, right? You gotta taste and you learn. Yeah, interesting. Man, immigrants. Is Trump doing a good job with closing the border? I hope that America just goes back to how it was, like Biden made things worse. I mean, Obama made things worse, but Biden just confused the world. And then, so Trump has a lot to fix. And, oh, I really hope that he will do what he wants to do. It's not Chinese versus Japanese, but PRC versus Japan. Yeah. CCP, Chinese communists, man. They're so smarter than immigrants. Oh my gosh. Hey, not all immigrants though, right? I don't know. There are some Japanese immigrants too, but the sad part is that like Asian, by Asian I mean like Japanese and Korean immigrants are usually ignored. Like we are out of the picture. It's like black and white or Hispanic or something like that. And then when you talk about immigrants, it's like Mexican and all the people coming from the southern border and Chinese communists, smuggling some bioweapon and Japanese and Koreans we are there but we don't appear in the story and yeah and they're just working hard I guess in the United States but yeah it's I don't know how people can live in another country. It's like some people, like sometimes I see on X, like, oh, living in Japan is hard. I see that. And I'm like, of course. And at the same time, living abroad in general is hard. And some people, I feel like those immigrants too, like, they just get it, like, get it wrong, that in order to live in a country, especially another country, you need to respect how things are done. It's not your country, right? I don't like it when people do not respect how things are done in each country. Closed border is great, but deportation should be higher. Ah, yeah. That's good. That's interesting. The just president changes and the border the border is closed. Wow. Trump has closed the border with Mexico. Good. Yeah. The proper direct translation straight from Hebrew to English for Yeshua would be Joshua. But since we have all the steps in between became Jesus and referred specifically to the Son of God. Wow, that's so complicating to me. And what's tricky about the pronunciation is like the sometimes it's like yeah, the sound is like yeah, and like Joe or yo, like it changes, and it's so hard to understand. They have no respect. They feel entitled. Like, but at the same time, though, South America seems really, 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 really dangerous. But I just come from Japan, and so Japanese sense is that if your country is messed up, you need to do something about it, right? It's your country, and you just don't leave your mother country. And so that's but then it's extremely dangerous at the same time. So I don't know. Difficult. But it doesn't mean that like they should be just become refugees in that scenario, right? But they just decide to come illegally. Like, why does it have to be illegal? Can't afford, or Mexicans are generally decent, but we have people from all over and in too high numbers coming in down south. Yeah, the number is just ridiculous, right? Here in Brazil, we have the largest community of Japanese immigrants and their descendants in the world. Oh yeah, it's so interesting when I think about them. But that was the case back in the day, right? It's so weird, like Japanese people, like even their names are Japanese too sometimes. But I mean, like, so the famous story is that even Japanese people were in the United States when the World War II occurred and they fought for America and so on. Like back in the day, it's a little bit different from today. I think that like even colonization was a thing in the world. We had empire. Each country had empire. We were it's like a territory. You were fighting over territory, trying to expand each other. And and the people were more like desperate, eager. That's the impression that I have. Yeah. But at least I hope that Japanese immigrants, though, I hope they came legally. German doesn't have the J sound in native words. Really? J is like English Y here. Really? Interesting. That's so interesting. Japanese language, by the way, like for example, like the sound like a shimbun, newspaper, shimbun, is both in Japanese. It's both shin bun, but the sound, right? Shinbun. But then if you spell that in English, it's actually shimubun. And I didn't realize that we have the same sound, but it's actually slightly different. But different enough so when it's spelled in English, it's different. The character is, the letter is different. So confusing, but yeah. But that's why, like, when foreign people speak Japanese, it's often easy to tell that they didn't learn it here. People need to fix their own countries, right? Yeah. Sometimes, though, like those who are oppressed from by Chinese communists, for example, like they need to flee or else they can't do anything. So cases like that happen, But at least, like, I see those who flee from Chinese communists oppression, they're working as activists and so on in Japan or Europe or America. They're working, right? So you can tell that they want to go back and so on. But those illegal people flooding into America, I don't see anything like that. So that's an interesting thing. Oh, speaking of which, though, there is this Chinese national, I think, but he went to concentration camps of Uyghur people, like East Turkestan people. Chinese communists, they put them in concentration camps, and there are buildings, right? And so this Chinese guy filmed it, like he made a documentary going close there, and then he went to the United States, like escaped to the United States, and his visa expired or something, and then he actually has a hearing on Monday. But if he gets deported, then he will likely to be caught by CCP in China, and then who knows what would happen. So there are some human rights activists and some mainstream media taking it up. So I hope that the sort of like contributors, stay active in the U.S. That would be best to, negotiate with China and so on. It would work better for the U.S. So, we get along with Japanese neighbors in the UK, and apparently they can read kanji too. Yeah, on an individual level, I don't think people have problems. My mom took in a Russian illegal immigrant. Took in? I finally took him away, but they still have not deported him. He's been in federal prison for 4 months. Wow. こんにちは。おはようございます。おはようございます。ラリーさん。おはよう。Did your mom know he was illegal? Or you were talking to the person? Native speakers of the Portuguese language, it is easy to adapt to the phonetics of the Japanese language and its pronunciation. Cool. Yeah, it really depends on like what kind of language you originally speak. They're working as activists. That means some NGO is paying them. I mean, I don't know. Some people have work. I mean, job. Like judging from what I know, like those people I know in person, like I am friends with activists in America actually, and they have a job, like regular job, and on the top of that, they are working for their country's cause. So I don't know how they do it. It's like living a double life. Yeah, but not everybody though. I bet that there are some like really activist type. But yeah, my husband and I, we work hard too, but I'm not receiving super chat. I think I should make videos. I just don't know the topic, and I'm such a perfectionist that I can't really make videos. Like this live streams, like you can flexibly just say whatever. But yeah, what time is it, by the way? I should probably go and give the space for my husband because he needs to do his work. Yep. As for seeking asylum, though, isn't the UK helpful too? Yeah. I just wish the Xi Jinping regime would just collapse like now, so that it would change the picture dramatically. After Putin, I have a feeling that it wouldn't make a difference or even become worse. As for the leader, like Russians are Russians. But in China, I bet that some people read the air, on the global stage. So I don't know, but they would not stop oppressing them. But then still, if the leader changes and so on, then there can be confusion inside the country, and then we have a lot of various kinds of opportunities. So, can a Japanese citizen read Chinese signs if they go to China? Most likely. But that's why, maybe that's one of the reasons why they are changing their own characters to simplify. If I go to Hong Kong or Taiwan, I can kind of tell what they're saying, in writings. Yeah, even newspapers sometimes. when CC, when CCP wrote, like, in my husband has been on like CCP kind of newspaper in Hong Kong and China, and we can read the Chinese language, like, typical right-wing Japanese. So it's the same phrase. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. You should re-clip portions of the live stream like other YouTubers do for content. Oh yeah, I need to find what I've said where and so on. I wonder how they do it though. Like there's a clip function and so on too, but I should probably learn it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. The year is almost ending. We only have a few weeks left, right? So I have to think about what to do for the next year. Like I should take YouTube and X seriously, because I need to make a living, like a better living, and like I need money, and because there are many things that I want to do. If we could more freely go to Tokyo, like more often, then we could achieve even more. And in order to do that, you need money. But if you work at a normal workplace, then you can't get days off. So that's why I'm self-employed. But yeah, so I gotta be a better boss of myself. So that's something that I need to do next year. But anyway, I will come back next week. I can't see the calendar. It's so dark. Wait, Christmas Eve is in 10 days. Wow, I need to do a house cleaning. It's a Japanese thing. Japanese people clean, like Americans have spring cleaning, right? Japanese people, we have like, I would say like December cleaning, winter cleaning. We need to clean our place by the end of the year. Not the very last, because that's not good, you don't want to make noises and so on. And 29th you shouldn't, because it's bad luck. And so, man, can I do all the cleaning? It's so stressful. I don't like this season, because every year I'm like, I need to do this and that, and there, and right? I'm most concerned about the fan in the kitchen, the oily fan, I'll look up how to clean that this year. I need to do it well. Okay, anyway, KFC for Christmas. I should do it just for the content, but I can't really digest like greasy stuff anymore though. I'm aging. Choose. Many young people date on Christmas. Yeah, it's a good time for for couples. It's a good time to date. Families, families enjoy the cakes and so on, and for businesses, that's the best time to make money. So thank you, Christian people, for the great tradition. You know, we are thankful, and you kindly let us celebrate too. We come from a different background, but we enjoy Christmas. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Enjoy your show. Have an awesome night. Thank you so much. You too have a great day or a great night. Thank you. It really helps my channel. Okay. There are grease removal products that work quite well. I bet. I need to get that. Praying Messi. Yeah. Christmas mukbang. Yeah. I want to be in shape though. I was walking a lot in autumn, but I kind of quit because it's so cold outside. I cannot give in. Okay, anyway, I shouldn't, you know, keep sitting here. You guys need beauty sleep, right? So, and I need to give this space to my husband. So I'm gonna go this time. It's so hard to say bye. But thank you so much for watching till the end. Also for those who gave me super chat, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's reunite next week. Okay. Bye bye. Oyasume. Oyasume. Good night. Bye bye.